Cataloging history can be an interesting challenge, and it's one that new Malone University archivist Amy Yuncker has embraced in her role as the first ever archivist here for the university. She takes all the artifacts, all the historical documents, and other weird items from the past the university has accumulated that have historical significance, and she organizes those and keeps those, preserves those, and Amy is settling into her new role and enjoying her part in maintaining the history of Malone University.
At Malone, it's very interesting. Unlike a lot of other academic libraries and archives, we are both the university archives and the official repository for the EFCER, the Evangelical Friends Church.
The items in the Malone archives can range from historical wedding bonnets to photos of the school's founders, Walter and Emma Malone, to even chicken-covered trophies from past university presidents, and all those things come together to create an interesting story that brings history to life for Amy Yuncker and for those she helps with the archives.
This was a seal from one of the earlier incarnations of the school. This is one of the ones I have that works much better than others. Some of them you almost have to get it on the floor and tackle it in order to get an imprint. I learned after working with a few of these to never pick a fight with a 19th century secretary. They must have had arms, just muscles. My job is to both preserve these things for as long as possible and to make them more accessible for researchers, not to necessarily tell them exactly what's in there, but to guide them as they're doing their research.
Many items in the archives are housed in some very special rooms designed to protect them from the elements and keep them intact for as long as possible.
This is the Malone Historical Collection, and this is where we keep copies. All of our yearbooks and catalogs, earliest ones we have I think are from 1897, we don't go all the way back to 1892, our audit reports, financial reports, fact books, propositions for new academic programs, our yearbook runoff area. Some of these are very neat because they were donated by alumni, but they have all the notes inside. It's really fun. Here, this is where we have the more historical collection for our Friends Library. We do have a dedicated section, special collection in our circulating area for Friends-related materials. And here we have some of our very old, very rare books. Our 17th century George Fox journal would normally live in here.
Yuncker's favorite find in starting her new job was a writing desk that she had just processed and then had a chance to see on a screen in front of her as she was watching some historical film.
Yes, it was a little writing desk that had belonged to one of our missionaries in Hong Kong, I believe, and I'd been going through her artifacts, processing them, trying to figure out in some cases, what in the world is this thing? And after I finished, and it was about this big and had a little space you could lift it, store your pens and papers inside. And then later on I teamed up with Media Services. They set me up with a reel-to-reel player so I could play some of these old films, and one of them was from this mission. And as they're interviewing this woman, I realized that's that same desk. I just processed that. I have that. It's on the shelf. It's upstairs. Oh, this is awesome. So it's really, really kind of neat. We have all these completely different collections, but they do really play off each other and tell a cohesive story.